Thank you for letting us share that piece with you all. My name is Eliza Barton, and I'm a student from the class of 2024. Being part of the Marimba Intensive this past January has been such a great experience for me. Even though marimba may not have been my first choice, it ended up being one of the most fun things I've participated in here at UPrep. I'm grateful for the chance to share what we learned during the intensive with each of you tonight. Marimba became part of UPrep through our relationship with the school Mara Apula in Botswana, where marimbas play an important part in the culture. During the intensive, I was surprised to learn how much marimba presence there is in the greater Seattle area. Learning this amazing instrument with these great group of people while feeling the connection to our sister school across the globe made this course very meaningful and unforgettable for me. I love being a student here at UPrep, and I feel so grateful that we have the opportunities like this intensive to explore and learn about the world. Thank you all for being here tonight and for celebrating our UPrep community.
Together here tonight? So let's give another round of applause for our marimba performers and to Eliza for kicking off the evening. So my name tag is not quite functioning tonight, but I think you all know that I'm Ronnie Codrington-Cazeau, and I'm the head of school at UPrep. So although this is my second year at UPrep, it's my first in-person UPrep Together. Woo! I am thrilled for us all to be here together. And I want to send a special welcome to all of you tuning in at home. We miss you. We'll see you next year. I am so grateful that we've been able to be on campus this entire year. And if you read yesterday's all-school email, you will know that I'm moving a little slowly today because I was on 10th grade retreat. I had to admit to myself on 10th grade retreat that I am not 25 anymore. Once I came to that realization, I had a great time. We've also had successful sports seasons, 1 round of intensives, 3 quarters of learning, and a lot of Puma pride, including a dance performance by the UPrep administration at lunch. I'm sure you've all seen our fantastic performance on Instagram to the tune Celebrate by Kool and the Gang, and I know that you want to sign us up for Hollywood, so just call me. And now we're back to hosting in-person parent events and parties. Woo! I am seeing some of you for the first time. There are many of you that I didn't know had beards or mustaches because I could never see below your eyes. So it is great to see you maskless and having fun tonight. We have a special evening planned, and I can't wait to share it with you. So, now, it is my pleasure to introduce the man who will be our host for this evening's festivities, Fred Northup Jr. Dun dun dun, our event MC. Welcome, Fred. Where are
thank you, Ronnie. Is that how we're doing it? I like it. I like it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ronnie, for such a warm welcome. I am thrilled to be back with you all here in person, and to all of you watching from home, hello. Thank you for being here virtually. My wife, Ashley, and I, we're the parents of 2 young kids. We know the importance of investing in your kids, investing in your school and your community. So thank you all for what you're about to do here and at home. You know, every time I am with you at this event, I am inspired by this community. There's such a strong sense of community at UPrep, and so I'm grateful to be with all of you here tonight. I also would like to give a thank you to our sponsors, of course. We can't do this without our partners in the community. So a big thank you to our silver level sponsors, Mithun and Skanska. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. And our blue level sponsors are AHT Insurance, Marty K, and PSR Mechanical. Thank you to each and every one of the groups on your screen for bringing this event to fruition. You know, we heard from Eliza briefly about being a UPrep student, and now I'd like to take a moment to introduce two of our amazing UPrep alumni so we can talk about their journey during and after UPrep. So I'm thrilled to introduce, I've had a lot of fun chatting with these two backstage. I'm excited for you to meet them. These are class of 2012 alums, starting with Phoenix Lembasayo and Prashant Naidu. Here they come. Now, as they take their seats, I'll say as students, they made their mark. I've heard rumors, we'll get to them, about a dance club. As alumni, Phoenix and Prashant continue to be full participants in the UPrep community. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. During our January intensive, Phoenix and Prashant joined dance teacher Jess Klein for the choreography intensive. Phoenix continues to be a familiar face on campus as a substitute teacher. And Prashant was featured in the recent UPrep magazine for his ability to build and sustain community as shown through his music career and commitment to UPrep. So I'm excited to hear more about these two. So how about one more round of applause for our two alums on stage? Now, look at this. It's nice. It was your idea that we should just sit and relax.
Right?
I like this.
Peaceful.
I don't normally. It is peaceful.
Especially in these shoes. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
All white.
Now, firstly, can you feel this is your community? Can you feel the love from your community?
Yes,
Feel it. I feel it better than I can see it because I don't have my
I
glasses
can
on.
definitely see them in the back.
So tell me a little bit about your time at UPrep. Let's start there. You're both obviously alums, so what was it like being a Puma for you two?
What was it like being a Puma? It was great. I mean, I think one thing you talked about too with the community sort of emphasis, that was definitely prevalent throughout my experience at UPrep. I think another amazing thing for me, at least at UPrep, because I have a slightly more unconventional learning style, I feel, the amount of room there was artistically, especially with the artistic programs, it allowed me some sort of productivity output in a way that was appropriate to the way I was able to. And there was a lot of support around that. And yeah, overall supportive, loving, very caring sort of community, for sure, yeah.
And to follow on that point, I can definitely relate as somebody who was very artistically connected to Prashant. I also consider university prep to be very much a gateway access point for people who are creative, who, if you're like me and like to do a lot of things, but even if you just like to do one thing, UPrep has a lot of resources and space and mentorship to help facilitate growth in one particular area, or to pop into a faculty member's office and say, hey, I want to learn the trombone, or I want to learn music production, electronic music production. In my case, I was able to go to Jess Klein's dance room every day at lunch and start practicing to myself in the mirror, and then eventually
While eating lunch.
While eating lunch. Can be counterproductive sometimes. But I was able to grow a very important community to me in that room, and it started with that access point and that mentorship.
And so that support from Jess Klein, that was the birth of the dance club then? And can you tell me a little bit about how the dance club went from you in the room to an actual club?
Yeah, so I didn't really know where to start. I had a lot of curiosity, and so, like many other people my age, I went to YouTube. Kind of before dance became what it was on YouTube. I was on YouTube. And I started copying and mirroring the moves that I saw on screen, and then would try to do those in the mirror at like maybe 50% success. And then Jess, saw me, and she started to grow those skills in me. And then my friends, who I'd previously been playing video games with upstairs in the computer lab before I decided to do something more fitness-oriented, they sort of followed me down. They're like, where'd Phoenix go? And I was like, hey, you want to learn how to dance with me? And so I started in much less formal terms. We were goofing around, learning these moves, and Jess basically encouraged me to take a leadership role. She said, you guys can perform, you guys can put pieces together, you can actually make something out of this and create some structure and organization out of it, so you should definitely try to lead them. And so it was a multiple leader effort, but Ms. Klein was the beginning of that for us.
And you had dozens of students then who eventually joined this club with you.
Over the course of many years, we had consistent members of dozens of students at various points. People would graduate, people would commit to other things during lunch, but everyone was always welcome, and we would always encourage people to stay and try to get them to come back every week. And then over the course of our middle school, high school career, we had singular performances with like 20 people in them who we'd never worked with before, multiple times over. So we literally worked with a couple hundred students maybe during our entire school career over dance.
It's amazing. And yeah, yes. And I love just seeing you two and not just saying, oh, that's fun, you can have this room, but encouraging you to take this leadership position, watching this club grow. That to me it's really incredible and speaks to the school and it speaks to you two. How did you two work as a team? What were the leadership? How did you divide and conquer?
Sure. Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, and I made a funny comment where I was like, I feel like people loved Phoenix, and then people were like fascinated by what I was trying, and they're kind of like, why? But
You'll know when you see it.
But yeah, I felt like we had a really good dynamic where Phoenix was really the people leader. She was able to rally people together, and then I would sort of go around like chiseling people to become perfect little sculptures, and like, you look prettier now, and it looks great. And it was really fun that way, though, because I do have a tendency to be more of a technical artist, and I think there was room to flourish in that way in our leadership style together.
And we had a couple other sort of core members of the group, and all of us were so unbelievably different, and that was reflected in our dance styles, from Prashant's popping and waving style to my almost jazz basics-oriented style to Trevor's various EDM trending dances to Tony's breakdancing focus. We all had our own personalities, and as our friendships grew and as our ability to work as a team grew, it definitely showed in our choreography and our ability to perform together.
Now, fortunately, we dug through the archives and we found some old video. It doesn't have sound, but we have video proof that this club actually existed. So I'm wondering if we can roll the video, if you could tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here.
Let's see it.
Oh, yeah.
That was Valentine's Day.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you see all the waving. Oh, no. Okay. This is like the one moment where I was able to say that I'm
this was
brown.
where it all started. This was where it started. I never saw Prashant the same way after that.
I actually really like this. I was wearing shoes that were way too heavy.
How about that? So what I think is cool is, of course, is that this is an idea that started with the two of you, grew into this club, and now what has happened since you left UPrep with the dance club?
So luckily, by the time we graduated, there were about 15 members of dance club, and one of them was very capable, still is, very capable leader, very sweet dancer, very smart person, and I was able to sort of pass the torch on to her, actually very ceremoniously in our final piece right before graduating. We sort of had a symbolic little dance moment there. But she led the club for many, many years, and then she graduated, and I actually didn't really know what happened to dance club after that, and then I came to guest teach for the first time 2.5 years ago, and this young lady walked in, and Jess told me that she was the appointed member of the dance club 10 years later. And there is still a dance club, and I walked into that once when I was substituting, and I was like, what is this riot? There's like 100 people in here. And it was dance club. So there's very much, and Miss Klein is so much to thank for that, and I'm thankful for every person who has watched somebody older than them at the school dance and has said, I want to do that, I want to keep this moving, and I want that dance room to be used. So, yeah, lots to be thankful for there.
Yeah, and even outside UPrep, we definitely took our dancing, we explored that for ourselves when we both went off to college, which was really cool. It was very like a scripted experience almost. We both went to different schools in Boston. We both joined different collegiate crews and
By
were competing
accident.
against each other. And but yeah, we learned a lot just about the entertainment space from a more industry standpoint too. And all of that is thanks to Room for exploring that at the school too. So.
And it's worth noting, and I've said this before, and Ms. Klein, Jess definitely has heard me say this. We got into these collegiate crews, and we both had positive experiences in our own right. We're elevating our level of technical proficiency. We're getting to be, small fish in a big pond and compete more heavily. But it wasn't the same, and I can say that for me. I don't know about you, but the sense of community that we fostered in our dance crew at UPrep, where everyone, no matter what their level of skill, gets to be at front of the stage at some point, performing at the front, gets to be challenged to do moves that they don't know how to do. Everyone has equal opportunity to shine, and there's no real hierarchy. That's something that was important to us at UPrep, and I think that goes a lot wider than just the dance room.
Yeah, we felt comfortable looking like fools on stage at UPrep. Great experience.
Yeah, that's important. That's important.
important.
And so you talked a little bit about life after UPrep. How has life after UPrep been? Was it what you expected it to be? What were some of the learnings that you're alluding to them now, that you learned in the dance room that then you took with you into life?
For sure, into life indeed. Yeah, after going to college and graduating, we were talking about this a little bit too. I think that the whole community-oriented nature and empathy-oriented nature of the staff and everything while at UPrep, it was important. Like, I think no matter what job I had coming out of college, it was easy to fall back on understanding that everything is going to be about working with people at the end of the day. It's like, yes, I'll have to be able to be technically proficient in what I have to do, or I will have to have knowledge about a certain topic, but at the end of the day, I also have to understand the people I'm working with, understand the circumstances we're facing, understanding how we can feel those things together. I think those are all things that I definitely gained from the UPrep community.
He says such sweet things, and then I have to pause to give him his moment. I've said this to a few staff members. One thing that's definitely true for me after experiencing community at UPrep is the degree of, and this is obviously, nothing is ever perfect. Everything is about shooting as high as we possibly can. But the standard for accountability and mentorship and inclusivity and equity that I saw at UPrep was, and UPrep was my 8th school before graduating high school, by the way. It was the high environment's better for people sometimes. And there's definitely a reason I gravitated back toward this community. You don't really see anything like it very often. And so it's really nice to be around adults who really care about doing better, a community where students can hold adults accountable to these standards, and they hold each other accountable to these standards, and discussion is welcome and prized in that regard.
I'm not the only one saying high quality, deep things, so.
See? So you talking about coming back to the campus. What is it like to come back on campus as alums, to be involved with the school, to see the next generation of Pumas? Tell me about that.
Yeah, it was disorienting at first coming back to UPrep and being like, oh, this is where I was all awkward. But it's been great to see the students. I know I got to work with a couple of students, especially closely when I was doing the music production intensive, and just getting to help build their own creative compass was super rewarding for sure. Just like despite technical aspects of like expectations for a song, for instance, if someone expects a certain song to sound a certain way, sort of just encouraging their ability or just giving them choice during the process and just going with their choice, I think it was just really fun to see what they chose and how excited they were about results, and just building that confidence for them for sure. Yeah.
It was kind of similar to what Prashant said. It was actually really disorienting. I walked through the hallways doing, really deep breathing. Like, I'm okay. I don't have an audience. I'm fine. And it is also really, especially after the past couple of years with the pandemic, and then a lot of, the sort of stereotypical first years of professional life experiences coming out of college and how those can feel deflating or what have you. It was really nice to be back around the vibrant energy of students in general, but especially I can say specifically the artist students at UPrep. But it's really interesting. The student body is different than when we were there, and it's also the same. The same in that teens are still teens in a lot of ways, but I feel like it's very hopeful to feel like I see students who are kinder, who care and are very aware, to the point that I find my position with them in saying it's okay to not care about everything all the time. Like, bring it back home, Bring it back home, get in your body. That's something I'm very passionate about is movement arts. Get back in your body, think about right here and now, take care of each other in this moment. So yeah, it's really interesting.
I was gonna say the social justice awareness is definitely way more prominent than when I was at UPrep, and I think that's really cool, yeah.
Well, can we give our alums a big round of applause? Let's stand up so the marimba students can come grab our chairs. It's so meaningful, I'm sure, to hear how, and look, you're getting an ovation. They don't even know what's coming. I know everyone appreciates hearing how UPrep impacted your lives. We appreciate you bringing that back and sharing your story here with us tonight. I know that we've got a little something coming up. So I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit about what is coming up next.
Yeah, I guess part of Phoenix's dance intensive with Jess, we're going to do a little dance performance with the middle school, the UPrep middle schoolers, and it's going to be using a song that I released last year. So
this is one of your songs?
Indeed.
All right.
It is?
Yes.
No, I knew.
All right, well, without further ado, let's do it. Here we go. And everyone tuck your chairs in because we've got dancers coming through the audience. keep it going for our student dancers. And thank you again to Phoenix and Prashant for sharing their story and sharing their talents with us tonight. You know, hearing these stories helps us see the long-term impact that UPrep makes, of course, in the lives of each of your students. And so I'd like now to turn and so you can hear a little bit more about what life at UPrep is right now. We caught up with some familiar faces around the campus, so take a look at your screens.
Oh, hey everyone. I'm so excited to see you here tonight. UPrep Together is one of my favorite events of the entire year because it celebrates how special our community is. What do you think, Joel?
Yes, I agree, Susie. Our teachers are amazing. They've been keeping everyone learning and growing.
Each day on campus, our teachers experience firsthand the benefits of a robust financial aid program that we provide, and our students really take advantage of it too.
I agree, but don't take our word for it. Hear for yourself.
Financial aid at UPrep is important because it allows students to access the wide varieties of opportunities to be successful in and outside of the classroom.
I believe it's our social responsibility to ensure that our students are exposed to different cultures and different perspectives from their own, and our classrooms should be a reflection of the world we live in.
I think that financial aid is important at UPrep because it helps bring in diverse perspectives into the classroom and ensures that as many students as possible have access to the rich classroom environment that we provide at UPrep.
Having diverse experiences represented inside the classroom brings different perspectives from different parts of Seattle, different cultures, which is vital when you're trying to have classroom conversations, especially when we're dealing with current events. I love hearing from all of our students. They all have interesting things and interesting input inside of our classroom, and it's extremely valued.
To me, financial aid is so important because of access and opportunity. We're able to open our doors to the Seattle community and create a space that's representative of who we want to serve. And so to be able to do that with financial aid just makes this community so special.
Thank you all for being here tonight for UPrep Together. Your continued support for the Financial Aid Endowment is truly amazing, and we appreciate all your support. It's a privilege supporting families through the financial aid application and allowing families to join our community who are strong and represent the greater Seattle area, regardless of their ability to pay. 18% of our students here at UPrep receive financial aid, and during the 2021-22 school year, $3.5 million were allocated to need-based financial aid. The UPrep Financial Aid Program is a comprehensive program which goes beyond tuition and fees. So your financial aid percentage will apply to textbooks and transportation, global link trips, both abroad and throughout this country. Dances are included in your financial aid percentage. So all these pieces are help to reduce the barriers that families may have regarding paying for activities, as we want this to be an inclusive environment for all students, and that means we want them to participate in as much as University Prep has to offer. Thank you for being here tonight at UPrep Together for this amazing event. Your support of the school for the Financial Aid Endowment plays such a vital role in supporting students regardless of their ability to pay. So thank you again, and go Pumas.
Thanks everybody, go Pumas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, UPrep.
Thank you.
Go Pumas.
You know, I've been a part of UPrep Together for years, and still every time I hear the faculty and the staff talking about the impact financial support means in shaping this community, the financial aid, how it shapes this community, I'm in awe every time. And so far tonight, of course, you've heard from a current student, you've heard from two amazing alums, you've heard from various faculty and staff, you've heard from Ronnie. So many of you in this room are current parents and guardians of UPrep students, and so we wanted to hear from you. So I'm going to invite UPrep parents John and Shelley Sage to the stage. These two have been part of UPrep for a long time. The parents of 3 Pumas, Jackson, from the class of 2014, Nicholas from the class of 2016, Matthew, a current Puma in the class of 2022. So if you're keeping score at home, they are the parents of 2 alums, 1 current senior, quite a legacy. Let's make a lot of noise for John and Shelley Sage, everyone.
Thank you, Fred, for that warm introduction. Full disclosure, I hate public speaking. I only agree to speak at events that truly matter to me. Other than speaking at each of my parents' memorials and delivering a toast at my sister's wedding, tonight is important enough for me to speak. Anyway, wow, it's really nice to be back in person. The past 2 years have been ones that no one will ever forget. I want to thank UPrep's leadership, faculty, and staff for keeping our kids learning. We are so grateful for your dedication, tenacity, creativity, patience, and the genuine care you show our children. As Fred mentioned, John and I have 3 boys and have been part of the UPrep community for 15 years. Our oldest son, Jackson, is 26 and started UPrep in 2007 as a 6th grader. And believe me, it's not lost on John and me that most of your children in middle school weren't even born at that time. Our 2 older sons have both finished college and are out in the world. Our younger son, Matthew, is 18 and will be graduating this spring. Woo. When making the decision about schools, UPrep stood out to us for many reasons. What was distinctive and special about UPrep back in 2007 remains equally true in 2022. Choosing UPrep for our boys was an incredible, important decision. And yet, it was perhaps one of the easiest decisions we've ever made. We were attracted to UPrep for many reasons, including my husband's love of the Puma mascot. True. But among the many, I'll talk about one that really stands out: the school's amazing faculty and staff. The teachers, leaders, and staff at UPrep go out of their way to connect with their students, share their passion for their subjects, and then go the extra mile to help them learn. Our oldest son, Jackson, loved Moses Rifkin's physics class, where projects such as the annual egg drop made concepts come alive. He went on to major in physics and math in college and start his career as a data scientist. Our middle son, Nick, was so engaged writing a research paper on Afghanistan and the Cold War, and then learning American history from Mr. Grant, that he went on to double major in history and government and is now working in Washington, D.C. Many teachers have inspired Matthew. I'm especially grateful for the English teachers who have given him detailed feedback and help with his writing. Because of their support, he has gained confidence and moved from dreading writing assignments to writing for the Puma Press for the past 2 years. Now let me hand it over to my husband, John, who actually, unlike me, actually loves speaking in public. We might not get the...
Thank you, Shelley. Yeah, please. This was a big deal to come out tonight. I promised to be brief, to the point, and I'm going to gladly hand this mic back to Fred in just a minute. But I want to echo what Shelley said and just underscore how deep our commitment is and our strong belief in UPrep's mission to develop students who are intellectually courageous and socially responsible citizens of the world. We're committed to making a UPrep education accessible to as many kids as possible. Your gifts tonight to the Endowed Financial Aid Fund make it possible to live the school's mission of equity, access, and inclusion by making all experiences available to all students. And as the endowment grows, we'll be able to provide financial support and financial aid for students year after year far into the future. Before we get to the ask in just a minute, I'd like to invite everyone to just pause for just a second. Think of a memory or a moment or an activity or an event that made a lasting impression on your son or your daughter or maybe you. Don't worry, I'm not going to cold call anyone, but really give a second to think about it. Our family is thrilled and privileged to make a contribution tonight to this fund. Not only because we love UPrep and the 15 years that we've enjoyed as a part of this community, but really because our sons and our family, I think like all of you, are the true beneficiaries of the hard work and the love and dedication that go into making this community what it is. So it is then with that spirit of incredible gratitude and a little bit of boldness that we ask you to join us tonight in making a financial commitment to support this endowment fund. So with that, I will thank you on behalf of Shelley and our family, and I will turn this mic gladly back over to Fred. Thank you guys very much. It's great to be with you tonight.
How about a big round of applause again for John and Shelley? Thank you. I'm now here in the round, surrounding all of you. This is the part of the evening that makes this event so special. UPrep's Endowed Financial Aid Fund benefits the entire UPrep community. We need your help right now. You've heard John and Shelley and why they support UPrep. For those of you who are new to our paddle raise, here's how this works. Each of you has a bid card. You're going to hold it up when you hear the level that is meaningful to you and your family. For those of you online, of course, you're going to upreptogether.org. I want to remind you that we've got 2 generous families who are offering a challenge, and we will talk about that later on. But for now, we're going to start our giving at the $20,000 level. And we're starting off with a generous $20,000 gift from the Capicella family, who couldn't be here with us tonight. So let's give a big round of applause to the Capicellas for their leadership in starting us off strong. And that's not all. We heard from another family just today who would like to join them at $20,000. So that's 2 families right there. Is there anybody here who would like to join us, or watching online? Is there anybody who would like to join us at the $20,000 level? If so, raise your paddle proudly. We are confident, by the way, there is a level that works for everyone, but I want to make sure I give everyone here the opportunity. All right, how about another round of applause for our 2 generous families starting us off at $20,000. Thank you for inspiring us. Our next level is $10,000, and starting us off at $10,000, the Reagan family, who couldn't be here tonight, is kicking us off. Can we give a big round of applause for Tori and Cam Reagan? Thank you. Also, Mark and Bridget Britton are kicking us off also at $10,000. Thank you, Mark and Bridget. Now, we have all these lead gifts, but is there anyone here who wants to join them at $10,000? If so, raise your paddle proudly at $10,000. Again, we're confident there's a level that works for everyone. And for those of you watching from home, look, here we go. Number 138 says, I will join it. Thank you so much. Number 138 at $10,000. Thank you. Our first in-room donor. I love it. Thank you for your generosity. We have word, by the way, that the Patel family is also joining us at $10,000. So thank you, Sujal and Mira. We appreciate your generosity at $10,000. Also, David and Sally Wright are donating $10,000. Thank you so much, David and Sally. Eric and Annika Andrews could not be here. They're donating $10,000. Thank you to the Andrews family. Jennifer Cast and Lily Franklin also joining us. Thank you, Jennifer and Lily. We appreciate your generosity. Liffy, rather. Jennifer and Liffy, thank you. Anybody else here want to join them at $10,000? Yes, number 183 across the room says we want to join at $10,000 as well. Thank you for your generosity. Anyone else? That was a lot of families at $10,000. How about a big round of applause for the families watching online and here in the room at $10,000? All right, Let's keep going at $7,500. $7,500 is an important level because all gifts of $7,500 and below are going to be matched 1-to-1 by an alumni parent. 1-to-1. This alumni parent has been so generous throughout the years. If you've been before, this parent really believes in the power of the endowment to sustain UPrep and help us continue to live our mission for years to come. So your gift of $7,500 becomes $15,000 right now. Incredible. So Norm and Lisa Bonji want to kick us off, and they've pledged the first $7,500. Thank you, Norm and Lisa. Is there anybody here who wants to raise your paddle at $7,500 knowing you're being matched? And here we go, number 201. Thank you for your generosity at $7,500. Again, that's $7,500 becoming $15,000 right now. Anyone else here? I know we've got a lot of gifts coming in online. For those of you joining us online, I'm going to thank you a little bit later in the program. Don't worry. Anyone here else want to join us at $7,500? How about a big round of applause for our two $7,500 families? Thank you. Our next level, of course, $5,000. Your $5,000 becomes $10,000 because of our match. So who would like to raise your paddle now proudly for $5,000 knowing you're being matched 1-to-1? And here we go. Look at all these cards. Number 116, thank you for your generosity. Number 155, thank you. Number 202, thank you. Number 187, all of these gifts being matched dollar for dollar. Number 108, number 126, thank you so much. Number 229, thank you for your generosity. Number 154, thank you. Can you believe we're still going? Number 129, thank you. Number 133, thank you. Number 117, thank you so much. Anyone else? And I know we had a lot of $5,000 donors online I saw before I even came to the stage. So thank you, online families. Anyone else in this room? How about a big round of applause for our $5,000 supporters? Amazing. Now we've got something really fun because this alumni family wants to kick it up a notch. Your gifts of $2,500 and below are not being doubled. They are being tripled. Holy cow, you are right. Thank you, Ken. You are right. $2,500. Can you believe it? Tripled. So your $2,500 becomes $7,500. That's free math right there, my friends. Who wants to donate $2,500, be double matched? Oh my goodness, look at all these cards. Here we go. Ken says, I can't believe it. Number 181, starting us off. Thank you. Number 107, also joining us at $2,500. Number 244, and of course these matches count for all of our friends watching from home. Number 190, number 178, number 125, number 134. Look at all these cards. Number 198, number 113, number 159, number 188. Yeah, you can applaud for all these generous supporters. Look at them all. Number 185, number 223, number 112, number 214, number 141. Thank you. Number 127, number 176, number 145, and we're still going. Number 182, thank you for inspiring us tonight. Number 171, number 230, number 245. Amazing. Anyone else? How about a big round of applause to our $2,500 supporters? All right, now you've really got to do math. $1,000 is our next level. We've already got our triple match challenge. So if you give $1,000, that is going to become $3,000. But there's more. Middle school families, starting at this level, your gifts will also be matched dollar for dollar by one of our middle school families. So on top of the two dollar for dollar matches, we've also got middle school families. If you give $1,000, it becomes $4,000. That is crazy. And if you work for a company that matches your generosity, then it becomes $5,000. It's craziness. It's craziness. So, middle school families give $1,000, it becomes $4,000. Everyone else donate $1,000 and it becomes $3,000. How many bid cards can we get up at $1,000? I'm glad that you're all really good at math. I hope you followed along. Here we go. Look at all these cards. Number 226, starting us off. Thank you for your generosity. Number 215. Number 122, thank you. Number 211, thank you. Number 150. Number 162, number 209, number 104, that's right, kids, still going. Number 186, number 123, it's Bert and Ernie's address if you're a fan of trivia. Number 131, number 152, number 184, number 202, number 156. Number 124. Look at all these cards. Number 146, still in its protective wrapper. Thank you. Safety first. Number 180. Number 225. Number 153. Number 144. I got you right here. Number 169. Thank you, David. Number 106. You can give twice, David, I'm not stopping you. Number 118. Number 161, number 164, number 218, number 142, number 236, number 205, number 217, number 123 gives again? Are you trying to give twice? He says, I am. That's $2,000 right there, which becomes $6,000. That's amazing. Number 205, thank you. I like the give twice challenge. You can give, if you want to be, fancy, you can do that. You can give it more than one level. You're good at math. Anyone else at $1,000? How about a big round of applause for our $1,000 supporters? Amazing. Let's keep it going. Your $500 also being double matched, becoming $1,500. How many $500 supporters can we get up? And here we go, number 209. Thank you for your generosity at $500. Number 243 says, I like the double match. Number 234. Number 164. Number 222. Thank you. Number 114. Number 228. Number 157. Number 107, thank you. Number 195. Number 105. Number 128, thank you for your generosity. Anyone else here at $500? How about a big round of applause for our $500 supporters? Thank you. $250 becomes $750. Who can do that? Who can join us now at $250? It's all going to add up to a big number, especially with this challenge match. Who else would like to join us now at $250? Thank you, number 246. Thank you for your generosity. Number 143. Number 189. Number 204. Number 110. Thank you. Number 210. Number 215, I like it. People just giving twice. Number 238, thank you. Number 148. Anyone else at $250? How about a big round of applause for our $250 donors? Our next level is $100. Your 100 becomes 300. Who would like to join us now at $100? And again, if you're like, hey, I want to give twice, you can do it. Who would like to join us now at $100? Hold your paddle up proudly at $100. Number 170, thank you for your generosity. Number 192, thank you. Number 140, thank you so much. Number 228, thank you. Number 217, thank you so much. All of those generous gifts at $100. I know we've got people online giving $50, $500, $5,000. This is really about a community coming together. So whatever gift you're giving, we're so grateful. In fact, $50 is our last level. 50, of course, becomes $150. Is there anyone here or online who'd like to join us at $50? If so, raise your paddle proudly. This is our last level, number 137, thank you. Number 103, thank you. Anyone everyone else at $50. How about a big round of applause for everyone who raised their paddle here tonight? Thank you so much. A reminder, if you work for a company that will match your donation, please make sure they do that this week. I know we've still got gifts coming in online. We will thank them, of course, as soon as we can. We're totaling them up. I'm going to be back on stage with Ronnie in just a few minutes to share the results with all of you. If you, by the way, if you just raise your paddle, you don't need to check out. It's very easy. Yeah, I know you're like, I feel like I know what he's going to say. We'll send you a receipt if you have a card on file, or we'll send you an invoice. It's very easy, right? See? There we go. My name is Fred Northup Jr. I need that on a screen so I don't forget. Our work here is almost done, but I'm thrilled because that way we're going to welcome back our marimba players. So here, let's see if they're coming back. Come on out, marimba players. You're going to enjoy a final performance. Ronnie and I will be back on stage, of course, with our results. So I'm gonna vamp a little bit while our marimba performers come out. Every time I turn around, I think, oh, hi, people at home. Hello. All right, so how about a big round of applause for our student marimba performers?
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention really quick, we are really excited to play one more song for you, our marimba students. But I did want to mention that one of our students is above and beyond because it's her birthday tomorrow and she came to play anyway. Our Miss President, Abby Hedstrom, ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday, Abby!
ovation indeed. Come on out. Come on. Don't hide back there. Come forward. Come forward. Keep it up for your performers here. Katy Perry would be so proud.
Take a bow. Take a bow.
Amazing. Thank you, thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you for that. We really appreciate you. All right, we are so humbled by your generosity. Before we announce our total, we should thank some of the families who donated online. So I'm going to quickly say thank you. Kathy Nielsen, Dean Carter and Petra Schindler-Carter, Jenna Sylvester, Brian Lonergan, Steve Seitz. These are all people watching online. Nick and Joanne Lee, Diana and Derek Street, John and Stephanie Scroggs, Holly Dunlap, Rebecca and Fred Kaplan, Brent Ellis and Catherine Burke, Charles and Catherine Wickham, Doug and Sarah Miller, Lee and Jennifer Falk, Allison Shukart, Julia Guthrie, Andrea Thorson, even Nicholas. Can you believe all these generous supporters and more? So how about a big round of applause for our at-home supporters? Ronnie.
None of what we do would be possible without your support. So thank you to all of those online. Thank you to all of you here. You all did a wonderful job and really showcased how great this UPrep community is. Evenings like this fill me up. And I'm just so grateful to each and every one of you, both in this room and online. I have the pleasure of sharing with you the total raised from our paddle raise. So thanks to everyone in this room and online, because we have raised over $677,500 for UPrep's Endowed Financial Aid Fund. Wow! Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, now to celebrate your generosity, of course, we're opening the bar back up. Dessert, coffee is coming out. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause for what you did for UPrep. And have a great evening, everybody. Good night.
Good night. Woo!